see you got the dress hung up.
How you been?
Everything.
Yep. It's still here. It's not on my head.
Right.
Okay, so we're here to assess your locks after about 6 months. Haven't seen you, but you're back to get some maintenance.
Yeah.
Because it's been longer than the recommended maintenance time.
Well, the main reason why I was waiting, because I know from our last meetup, we wanted to fix these front locks, because these front ones is thin. It was, it's kind of
due to the
thinning out.
Yeah.
So I wanted to grow. I've been growing this front part out so that you could have extra hair to kind of add into the locks. So that's been the main reason why I was kind of just letting it grow out. And then I really want to do something, like start doing something to the locks that's like, that's like,
The two-headed dragons?
Yeah. I want to start working on doing something to those, either cutting them, like as you recommend that we should do, to kind of choose which one is more stronger, and then getting rid of the thinner one. Do something like that. And then I know it's these two on the side over here that's like mad thin. They look like that they hanging on to dear life. I would like to either figure out what we could do with that, either chop them or something, or whatever is best. And that's mainly it.
So what you're referring to in the front here is reconstruction work.
Yes.
New parts need to be established, and the hair needs to be pulled in using a different method other than palm rolling. So you would need crochet reconstruction.
Okay.
And the reconstruction is called reconstruction because first we're creating parts, and second we're using my expertise to make sure the right amount of hair is brought in to support the locks, so you have a proper part to lock ratio for a long, healthy journey for this front part moving forward.
Yeah.
So this right here is crochet work, which is priced at $100 an hour. If this can get done in an hour, then that's fine. But if it takes more than that, then that's what that work consists of. In the meantime, of course, this can just be retwisted, but that would be temporary. Once that retwist either reverts without a style within a week or two, then this hair will come right back out. So the crochet is a permanent instant locking solution. So in the meantime, with you waiting for this to grow out, this hair has not gotten the proper support or maintenance that it's needed.
Right.
And that's fine if you're on a semi-freeform journey. So we're back to, do you want traditional locks or freeform locks? And if you're choosing traditional, but you go freeform length amount of time, but you want to come back to a clean, crispy style look, that's going to cost more money because of more labor and more skills needed.
Okay.
For example, somebody's coming in every 6 to 8 weeks for a retwist, that takes me exactly 2 hours. But if somebody's coming back in 6 months, that's going to take me almost 4 hours to get it to what you're seeing on my work, where you're coming to me, to get it to my brand standard. So have you thought about because right now you see your roots, let me record that as well on my phone. The roots, your parting structure isn't clear.
Right.
So that's going to take more time to go in, redefine, find those parts, and pull the hair back in that needs to be. Like if you feel right here,
Yep.
all that hair belongs in a lock.
Right.
And while there's a significant amount of hair between your locks are in jeopardy of thinning and breaking. Because your foundation is critically compromised. Right, so when people have semi-freeform, they still want they want to be able to find their locks, and they want them to be even from root to tip. I'm just pulling this one right here, and I see thinning right here.
Yeah.
So I didn't really need to pull it to see, and I don't need to see you to know that, because based on my experience, and if you haven't had effective maintenance, it's going to be that case. Just because that's the anatomy of locks, that's how hair works, and this is how locks are because they're heavy.
Right.
This weight is heavier than this hair.
Right.
So we constantly have to reinforce that new growth to ensure that you can carry this. Especially as they get longer, they get heavier.
Right.
So a typical retwist takes me 2 hours, half hour for a shampoo, hour and a half for the retwist. And then longer, past shoulder, I add extra 30 minutes for me.
Okay.
So that's why there's an additional $30 fee for past the shoulder. This all ensures that I have enough time to do everything needed. As you see how you came in today, my last client perfectly aligned with you.
Yep.
Everything's timed out.
Yeah. So like what semi freeform is like, what if I wanted semi freeform, what would be the process? What would be the next step?
Now, did you have any
Going
questions?
forward.
about what we
Okay,
just
so-
talked about?
No.
Unintentionally, you've already entered into a freeform journey.
I was already aware.
Okay, and so do you want traditional locks or semi-freeform locks?
So like what semi freeform is like, what if I wanted semi freeform, what would be the process? What would be the next step on going forward? With
Okay, so unintentionally, you've already entered into a freeform journey. That means your roots are untrained.
Yeah.
They're free.
Yeah.
They don't have someone coming in every 6 to 8 weeks and saying, we need you to go this direction and we need you to stay in these parts.
Yeah.
So this hair is on a different journey than this hair.
Right.
So you're already in the freeform due to the lack of maintenance and the time that's passing between the training.
Okay.
So, hey, you could say, hey, I kind of like the look, right? There's no right or wrong answer. I just want to go in and just make sure that everything, I don't need a clean, sleek look. I just want to make sure that you can find my parts and that my locks are even.
Right.
I don't necessarily need a style. I don't necessarily need any gel. I can just crochet. And crochet is recommended because you're going 3 to 4 months. And hopping in every 3 to 4 months and then trying to do a retwist,
Yeah.
it's not going to stay.
Right.
Because the locks are untrained, the roots, and they're just going to revert. So in a sense, that's a waste of money. So this needle is used so that when you do come in for maintenance, it's permanent.
Right.
And you can have the freedom of shampooing and swimming, and it's not just going to revert like a retwist. Because you only come in every 3 to 4 times a year.
Right. I would say, I mean,
So I'll give you an example of what that looks like.
cause I would definitely, like, I guess like I'm in between of wanting traditional and
Yep.
freeform.
Yep, you're in the middle of 2 different worlds. But when you pop back in, you just have to know that that's going to take more time
Yeah.
and it's going to cost more money because it's not just the traditional maintenance retwist. It's going to be a lot more work
Right.
to bring you back into a whole nother type of journey.
Okay, that's well, I'm definitely gonna learn from this go around. If, you know, and then like I'll definitely find out what, cause I'm also in the process of wanting to also maybe trim my hair, like maybe cutting it shorter. I'm just still on the borderline if that's what I want to still proceed with that, but I do want to kind of cut it shorter for easy maintenance,
Right.
so that we're since I am kind of going into that semi-free form and all that, I wouldn't want my hair to be it to be so long, so it won't cause too much weight.
Yeah.
On the
Compromising your foundation.
Right.
But also this needle makes your lock stronger.
Okay.
It reinforces very tightly versus a retwist. So your foundation will be able to hold more weight immediately than it has like probably in your whole lock journey, because you haven't done crochet before, right?
No, only when I have started to do those combining locks. That was probably the only time.
And that's going down your shaft, but not any work towards your root, right?
Yeah, no.
So that's for repair. So repair is different than your preferred maintenance method. So this is something for you to think about, right? What do I want to do? And whatever you choose, my recommendation as a loctician is to keep consistent with your method you choose. Now, if you're choosing to come in every 3 to 4 months with crochet, I would keep that consistent, because that's when you get the best results.
And then crocheting is really, it would like, you do the crochet and then my hair would kind of still just look free form.
Okay, like so you have the option to crochet retwist, right? I crochet farther down to where I can still retwist the root.
Okay.
Or I can go all the way as close to the root, and then you get more bang for your buck versus your roots popping out. It'll be more maintenance, so you don't have to come back as soon, and it looks even more maintained. So closer to the root, in my opinion, especially if you're paying $100 an hour for that service, which when you come every 3 to 4 months, only take 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
For me, I would just go as close to the root as possible. But you have the option. So that's where the term crochet retwist comes from.
Okay, I think, yeah, because I would still want the retwist. Like I would still, I guess, like, I'm not so big on, or at least at this part of my journey now with my hair, because I've had locks going on like almost 15 years, over 10 years. So it's like, I guess, like, early on, I was, on top of like wanting the fresh, the retwist, and all that, but my whole reason of getting locks in the first place was, at least that I don't really care for the perfect look, the retwist.
No, because if you did, you'd be up in somebody's chair more often, right? So you're fine with it, yeah. You just want to make sure they're healthy as possible, mainly.
Yes.
And that's a lot of people, but it's different for everybody. That's why thinking about your lifestyle and what's important to you is critical for tailoring your lock journey for you.
Yeah.
So when you say you'd still want the retwist, what about the retwist is appealing to you?
Like every now and then a fresh new retwist is
it the
good.
style, or is it the the shine and the finish?
I guess the style, but like I mainly would do the style just so that the lock could hold, so that the retwist could hold. Because when I do keep the style in, when I do get the style, I'll keep that style in maybe like a month or two itself.
Yeah, and then that's also, you don't want to keep a style in longer than 4 to 6 weeks.
And why is that?
That leads to breaking and thinning at the roots, because a style is tension. Our hair isn't designed to be under sustained tension for months. Yes, our hair is very forgiving. It takes good care of us, but it's not designed to be out of its natural state for a matter of months.
Okay, that's definitely good to know. I was thinking, I guess I was assuming that will, I assumed that would help.
So what you're doing is creating a solution for the reverting of a retwist.
Yes.
When the actual solution would be either interlocking, which the size of your locks would be good for that too. I'll show you the other tool. This is the latch hook.
Yeah,
where you pull it through in the directional rotation.
Right.
So this is another tool that will prevent unraveling.
Okay. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so you have crochet and you have interlock. Now interlock does create a you see how there's ripples on mine?
Yes.
It does create a pattern. So you see how yours is nice and spongy?
Yeah.
And clean?
Yeah.
Interlocking does tend to create a different type of pattern. But you do get that neat look. You do immediately gain, like, all the new growth you have. You gain that length. Yeah. Upside. Oh, and then interlocking, you have to come in more frequently than crochet. Every 6 to 8 weeks. So then you're still back at coming in more frequently than you'd want to. So I'm going to show you the final of the crochet I just did. Okay, and then I'm going to have you feel it from the root and slide your finger down so you can feel the work I did.
And this is crochet.
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 So the way you want to feel your locks is pinch at the root and slide down with tension. That's how you check to make sure it's strong from root to tip and there's no weak spots.
Can I see, like?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you right now. Okay, so this is about how much new growth you had. Okay, this is all that loose hair that was there from the grow out of your tapers and so forth. So I chose this one to do a sample of the crochet. And this is the start of the crocheting, and then I want to show you that there's still loose hair because once you pull it in, that hair still is not trained and it's still long, and I still have to go all the way down to get it all in. Oh, there it is. So all that hair is still your new growth. It has to be pulled in because it hasn't been being trained in.
Right.
So that means you see that new growth, but I still gotta go all the way down there with the needle. Yeah. And then that's it. I left a little bit of room at the root. That's how you will see. I would leave a little bit more for a retwist. But that's just showing you all the hairs in, and this is where I went closer to the root.
Still enough to retwist it, right? Or that's not enough?
Not comfortably. It will be too tight. I'd have to leave at least 1 inch or 1.5 inches. It would be too much tension on your root. This right now, you don't feel it, but after it's sustained, constant pressure, it's gonna be uncomfortable for you. And if it's all around, it has to be at least this much room for me to retwist. 1/2 inch to 1 inch.
Okay, I think I would like the crochet with a retwist. That's what I instead of it just being crochet all the way to the root, I would prefer the crochet with a retwist.
Okay, so again, that's preference. I'm glad you have the information.
Cause like I said, like I still want the retwist, the style, but like you say, like I do like the natural. I like to just let my hair just naturally just, just be natural rather than always.
Because that's the freedom of even having locks and having to keep manipulating them.
Right.
So following this consultation, I'll be contacting you with an email with all the options and the price points. And then, pardon me if you know this already, but after your next maintenance is when you should be getting your tapers and lineups.
Yes. Oh, so like after, after the maintenance, or Okay.
Because typically, just to stay safe, barbers they take hair off. They don't really specialize in, oh, how do I preserve this and put this here and da da da.
Yeah.
After you come to maintenance, then they can clearly see what their hair is and what my hair is.
Right.
At home care, whether you decide to do traditional, semi-freeform, crochet retwist, you still want to keep taking care of your scalp.
Yeah.
It's very dry.
Yeah.
So especially as you get more hair, even if you're just focusing on the scalp, it tends to absorb more moisture. It's thick, it's dense, and it's loving it, but you're not getting it enough of the moisture. Moisture would either be distilled water in a spray bottle, or rose water, which tends to be more hydrating.
Yeah. I got the spray bottle, and I still use the oil.
But see, oil without the water is just sealing in your dryness.
I use the water though.
Okay. So would you say you still got, like, how long does it take you to get through a bottle?
I mean, I use like regular water.
That's
so like
fine.
I use
Okay.
the regular water that with the spray bottle, and then I use, after it's moist, then I use that oil.
So how frequently are you doing that? It should be every 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, I ain't doing it. No.
Okay. Yeah, because the scalp tells. And doing that every 2 to 3 days is gonna prevent from breakage and thinning, and it's also gonna give your locks an overall more luscious aesthetic. It's not gonna look ashy, if you will.
Yeah. I definitely be noticing that when I do use it. Like it works wonders.
Yes, and then also, like, say you have a special occasion or something like this olive oil sheen, that will give you like a shine. Right? Of course, natural locks, they're not supposed to be shiny. That's just some old salon gel stuff, but it's not supposed to be shiny, but we still want you to be out here with the glow that your locks deserve, right? But ultimately, I will reiterate, there is some thinning, especially with the locks around the perimeter with so much new growth that hasn't been reinforced. When I say thinning, it means I can see through.
Yeah.
When I put the hair up, I can see my hand through it. So I'm glad you came back when you did, because your hair is at a critical state. The goal for me as an optician is to make sure your hair is healthy and to make sure it's strong for a long journey. Styles are cool, but the style to me is not the number one priority. It's cleanliness and health.
I agree with that. Like I haven't even been I've been really, and that's another reason why, like, I kind of want to cut my hair, like, kind of cut it shorter, so I won't have to rely on styles so much. I can just naturally just get the retwist or the crochet, whatever, the maintenance, and then I can just naturally just rock my hair naturally the way it is. Because I feel like the longer it gotten, I was relying more on the style because it was just so much. I didn't really care to wanted to rock it so much because there's just so much hair in the way. It's all falling into stuff, and then that's where I'm gonna kind of realize, I'm like, yo, it's really in my way a lot now.
I think you're bringing up two different things, right? I can understand part of the reason why I cut mine off, because it's just a lot of hair in the way. Everything you're doing, dressing, sleeping, car, seatbelt, it's a constant like third party. Like, now, but when you're saying, like, I was keeping the style in, right, to hold the retwist, right? That is actually, in a sense, creating another problem, right? I don't think it has anything to do with the length. The issues that we're addressing here has to do with the new growth, your foundation. So keeping that style in for 2 months, taking that style out, and then typically once you take your style out in 2 weeks, you should be back for traditional maintenance. But we're not in that rotation for healthy locks. So this, for me, basing on your habits, your in between with traditional and semi-freeform, this is what I'm assessing. you're not in a healthy rotation for traditional locks. So that's the issue. And then the other issue is this too much to handle at this point? You know, some people can do it all the way to their ankles and they're happy. Me, I can't. I'm an LA girl. I need to be light, airy. I don't want a third party, right?
See, I definitely thought that I was gonna be the one that was like, oh yeah, like I ain't never cut my legs.
Me too, I thought so too.
And then I realized that ain't what I really want.
But it's also part of like when you're taking your photos, your modeling and so forth, it does set you apart from others.
So that's why I'm like, instead of me cutting it so short, still kind of keep it at a long length, a good.
Yeah, you can, because it's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Really quickly.
Right. So yeah, so you know, just kind of just.
Even just past shoulder.
Still.
Is longer than most people make it to.
Right. Okay.
You know, so when it comes back here, it's still.
Yeah, it's still.
Right here.
Right. Okay.
And summertime's coming up too, so it's gonna be getting hot.
Yeah.
So we did go over at-home care every 2 to 3 days. Everything's focused on the scalp.
Okay.
Actually, I could demonstrate that. Even the leave-in is good. This one smells really good, so I use leave-in conditioner like this liquid is 90% water.
And where you get that from? Where that's
Amazon. But what you're doing is fine too, just the regular water.
okay.
But you just got to do it.
Yeah.
And again, I know it's a lot to manage all the hair. But again, we are just focusing on the scalp, so that makes it easier.
Yeah.
This probably feels good already.
It does.
And then you're putting the oil in your hand, about this much. Based on what I see, this will be a good, like 2 quarter sizes.
Okay.
And then the massaging is important to just get it right in the scalp.